revolution, guys. Do like a bit of symbol. Good old symbol over there. Now, who thinks that... Turn that off, actually. Who believes, actually, guys, that Prince isn't dead? That he's just faked his death and gone into hiding? Sorry, Prince. Sorry, Symbol. I don't mean to, ruin it for you over there. But personally, I actually don't think he's died, because I just can't imagine. He was such a conscious person, and I do just want to wrap up, okay, the whole new human thing. But he was such a conscious guy, and I'm not saying he didn't ever do anything, but he was pretty healthy, he was in pretty good shape. And unless he actually had an accident, because of course, that was the one thing that can happen. I'm not suggesting that people don't just die because they've had an accident or something like that, but otherwise it is either a metabolic disease, okay, meaning that it comes from the food and substances that you put into your body, that you've destroyed your metabolic mechanisms, or you've been sort of poisoned, like extreme, from an outside source. But even still, it would be because it was damaging, your organs, kind of thing. And it would be having to go into your gut first and foremost, and then obviously, if there's an accident, guys, or an injury, kind of thing. Anyway, so there was a couple of things that I sort of didn't mention on the last two videos, and I do want to mention them here. But these are, these are kind of really what you come to when you've done all the rest of it. Okay, so basically, let's recap. First thing we need to do is get radically honest with ourselves. There's this whole, I think I did mention it before, there's this whole kind of spiritual bypassing and even life bypassing faction that, it goes in so many different ways. On the one hand, I even heard an astrologer that I'd sort of just come into contact with. I don't know whether she's talking about me. Maybe she's, because she doesn't get that many comments, and so, we all do it. You look at somebody's message, because that was it, because I was saying to her, she was talking about AI, and I'm getting very bored of the way that astrologers can only predict what they know. And so mostly they haven't gone down that many rabbit holes, they don't know that much about conspiracy theories and things like that. So as far as they're concerned, AI is the new technology. Well, no. As far as I'm concerned, that is what they have given us to distract us from the real true new technologies, okay, which are the suppressed technologies, okay, that they have been suppressing for about 150 years. So in a way they're not new technologies, but there will be a lot of new things, okay, that are based on old technologies, okay, and that includes things like hydrogen powered cars, water powered cars, incredible frequency healing devices, and just so much, guys, and even to, some people believe in med beds, kind of thing. Now, I don't believe in them to the extent that some people believe in them, but guys, I have had, a Healy. I do have a Healy. In fact, I don't use it that much anymore, because I don't really need to. That's the truth. I just don't really need to, you know. I don't like bypassing all my healing onto the Healy. You know, if I have a little bit of healing that needs to do, like actually today, God, a week comes around so quick, I swear to God. I'm going back to my friend's glamping site today, and I had cooked this chicken. It was literally 3 days ago now, guys, and I'd put the skins in the oven because I like to double bake them, and I forgot about them. And then this morning I just turned the oven on because I hadn't turned the oven on. I had sort of been avoiding, I didn't really make fish for my cat yesterday. They're getting bored of all food. It's so boring. I never bloody know what to feed them. Anyway, and and then as I turned the oven on, I remembered I had those chicken skins in there, guys. So I cooked them, thinking if there is any bacteria, it will kill it all off. But anyway, I didn't eat very many. I only ate 2, and I thought I'll just see how they make me feel. And yeah, they're making me feel a bit weird, I have to say. But anyway, so I've just taken some. I mix my castor oil and my black seed oil together, and just take a teaspoon of that every day. Both castor oil and black seed oil can kill parasites. Castor oil takes whatever you put with it deeper into the body and repairs tissue. Okay, guys, so it is the best supplement for everything, okay, but in particular your gut. And it just makes such a smooth movement every morning, regardless of whether there's chemtrails or not. It's a no-brainer. Okay, so get yourself on the castor oil. You don't need a tablespoon of it, which is what they always used to show you in the olden days. And you know, because that could give you diarrhea, I would think. It probably does. You know, so anyway, guys, so I am feeling a bit dodgy. You know, the other thing I wanted to say to you guys is, if there's no bad bacteria, okay, that we can catch, then that means that there's no good bacteria, guys. And we all simply know that that isn't true, because we have antibiotics and they kill every single bacteria, good and bad, in your stomach, the microbiome. Okay, there's been a lot of study done on the microbiome in the last decade, okay, and so we know it to be true that there are billions of bacteria. In fact, what is it again? I used to know the statistic. There's about, you know, it's 100 trillion cells in the body, and there's about, you know, 100 times that of bacteria in your microbiome, okay? So there simply is bad bacteria, and I just don't want to hear about it again. It's so boring. It just bores me. It really, really does. And it grows on things that are not well, okay, that are dead and, you know, exposed to the air for a certain amount of time. That's how it decays, okay? That's how our own body decays, because bacteria coagulates onto it, and then that, you know, in time transmutes into, you know, other living sort of parasites that clean it up, okay? So the things that I wanted to come on to talk about are actually just a byproduct of what happens, okay? But I didn't actually finish what I was saying, which was this bypassing thing that people are saying now, which is that nothing's really ever happened to you. You don't hold it in your body, and if you do, then you're trying to work on it through the body, then that's a bypass, and you're simply stuck. No, okay? That, and anyone who's, and I said it recently, and I may have upset someone in saying it in my live. I was saying that I do believe that people in relationship need to have a separation if it's only going one way. Particularly, the earlier you can do this, the more likely you are to have a functional relationship, okay? And, you know, sometimes people do get into relationships with people that are, you know, very damaged, okay? And the whole kind of, you know, new cage way of saying that person is reflecting you is wrong, okay? That person is not a reflection of you. They are not a mirror of you. They are very much themselves. That is who they are, okay? And they're showing you who they are, so just believe them, okay? But what they are showing you is who you are. They're showing you your fear. And without it, okay, without somebody screaming in your face, without somebody being abusive to you, you're just going to think you're fine all the time. You're not going to know you have fear. Now, okay, it is normal to be scared of someone who's screaming in your face, you know, expletives. And worse, honestly, threats of violence. You know, so that is scary. But if you have transcended it all, okay, everything, right? Jesus wouldn't be scared of that person. So when we are Christos, when we are in total light, okay, we won't find ourselves in those situations. We simply won't. We won't attract them to ourselves personally. Now, Jesus did attract narcissists. Okay, he did. The whole system wanted to, and in the end did, shut him down. Okay, just like they're doing to me. So you will attract the psychopaths in a way, but it's less in your. It certainly wouldn't be in a relationship. Okay, and it would be less. It wouldn't really be in your social circle. That doesn't mean that you wouldn't come upon them so that you can share some wisdom, okay? But so somebody who is like that is being themselves, okay? But they're showing you their pain, and they're showing you your pain, I should say. That's the most important. Yeah, they're showing you their pain, but really you aren't even that interested, okay? You just want them to get it in your fucking face already, right? Usually. So this is why, with this new human stuff, in my own work, okay, I am teaching you to be a new human, and that is to just be totally authentic, totally sovereign, okay? And I say, the only thing you need to do, okay, and it's true, but it's just that people are too dumb, they're too stupid, they're too blocked, they're too thick, okay? It's a thickening, it's a thickness in the arteries and the veins that blocks around the heart and the brain, so you simply can't understand or understand the truth. And, you know, you're in this overt, outward projectile, sort of stuck experience of our culture, okay? And what we need is to get back to being tribal again, okay? To being superhuman. Supernatural is what it takes to be superhuman. You don't see a person from the first world, okay, able to carry 20 kilos on their head weightlessly, either walking or riding a bike with their friend in the back and a cow on the handlebars, okay? It just doesn't happen. Why? Because they've been destroyed by food and substances, by all chemicals. I'm saying it very loudly for the people at the back who simply aren't listening, and they think that they can put as much bullshit into their bodies and somehow be superhuman. No! You're only going to be a product of this culture, which is damaged royally. Okay, and by the time you're in your 80s, bent over double forward, not backwards, which is how we should be. Able to do a backflip. Able to slowly rescend ourselves so that the back of our head touches the back of our thighs. Okay, that is how flexible we should be. Yes, I'm going to should all over you. Okay, because if you aren't even anywhere close to that, then you simply aren't even anywhere close, like me, okay, to really transcending this matrix. Okay, so all you need to do is relax, okay, and you're going to flood your body with all the information. Okay, but if you don't do that, and you aren't doing that, okay, then these are the other steps. You get totally radical honesty with yourself, and that isn't the same as Aubrey Marcus, who I keep meaning to bring up, because, you know, they've taken my word, okay, everyone has now, they use it in all different modes, and this fucktard is using it to say radical monogamy, meaning polyamory. Fuck you, dick. Fuck you. Okay? People aren't stupid. You are. Right? And I saw that guy with a couple of other weirdos. Right when it all started, especially with this woman as well. Joe Rogan as well. They all came out same time as I did. And guess what? They're shills, okay? They're total distractions, and somehow people love it. They absolutely love being deceived by these fucking idiots. They simply don't want, and that's what makes me angry. And that's why I can understand, people like that, I can't remember his name, Mr. Astro Theology kind of thing. He's fucking angry. And I don't, and I get it, but he's too angry in a way, and he needs to chill the fuck out already. But the truth is that radical honesty means, I'm not saying you can't be polyamorous, just don't call it monogamy. Okay, be whatever you want to be. Okay, it isn't for me. It definitely isn't. Okay. And the only way I think that, well, I'm just not even going to say it, I just don't believe in it, okay? It's starting to rain here now. Anyway, we have to get honest in every single way that we lie to ourselves. People, place, things that we put in and on our bodies, okay? We allow into and onto our bodies and into our field, into our space, okay? We have to become light. We have to detox, okay? And then there is an anomaly, right, that happens where your body remembers. Okay, it's a cellular awakening. It's a cellular remembering that I am meant to be aligned. I'm meant to be centered. That I should be like a pole, like you've shoved a stick of bamboo through my crown and it's come out the perineum. It's come out the center of my genitals, okay? And within that, all of that, okay, you become magnetic. It's an actual energy. It's an energetic that you can feel, and it pulls your movements. It doesn't force you because, that just the truth of all of our being, okay, is that stress is